Hello, hello. Welcome back to Kris and Matt's Wrestling Podcast 2.0. I am Kris. That is Matt. And we're going to talk a little bit of wrestling and then talk about our teams winning. All we do is win, no matter
I
what.
was thinking the same thing. Like, why didn't I have that queued up to hit the... See, if we were professional, we would have, like, drops and stuff. But we're
Sure.
a couple of schmucks.
Sure. So how are you, Matt?
I'm okay. It's a lot of nervous energy right now. Like, I'm excited, but I'm also not ready for the World Series to start. And also, our Lions are looking really good. We'll talk about them a little later. So it's a lot of
MVP.
just like, right. And then, look, the WWE is starting to really start to give us the move forward on this big bloodline angle we've been waiting on. So there's just like I'm anxious to watch a lot of things, but also nervous to see how it turns out.
Yeah. We got Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY tomorrow on SmackDown. So they're like, here, have it. Right. Second weekend. Here you go.
I mean, it's the only week you're going to get it. So
True. So yeah. But instead of going through the week and all that kind of stuff, Matt texted me earlier and was like, hey, what do you think about trying to guess the WrestleMania card? And I was like, initially I was like, well, what about Saturday night's main event? But it's like, nah, let's do Mania. We'll get to Saturday night's main event here. Maybe after Crown Jewel, we can hit it like you said, but we're gonna try here, and we do this from time to time. We try and put our heads together and kind of guess where they're heading at WrestleMania time. So we'll do that and go back and forth and make a list, and we'll keep track of this too. We'll do this probably again right around the beginning of the year, and then again sometime right after the Rumble, because by that time things will be pretty clear. But
I feel like this is what we did last year too.
Yeah. So all right. So I guess we should probably start with Cody, huh? Unless you had a different. No, I just
sure.
Because I was thinking about like how would we, and I was kind of thinking if we could get the at least the major titles, and then we can fill in from there, like who's missing. So I guess first of all, do you think Cody is still going to be champion at WrestleMania?
I do think he's still going to be champion at WrestleMania because of the way that I have some other things playing out. Okay. I think it makes sense for him to still be champion. So for my Cody match, I know a lot of people, and we've talked about it on here, I thought it was going to be Randy. Makes a lot of sense. I'm starting to lean towards, in my mind, I think it's going to be John Cena.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because I think it's the highest profile match Cena can realistically have at WrestleMania, which is going to be his last one. It would also be with the title implications of, is he going to break the record and all that? And it gives him the opportunity to, pass the torch on the biggest stage to the clear one of two future faces of the company or long-term faces of the company, right?
Right.
I think it's a way for Cody to retain the title if they don't want Cena to break the record without upsetting too many people. Because I think leading up to Mania, he's going to get a couple really big wins, and it could start to, the LOL Cody wins type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't happened yet, but I think you and I both know at some point, if he keeps on this run the way he is, the fans will eventually get sick of him. They've done it to every babyface in the history of the company. I don't think it's happening right now. People are clearly still very much adore him. But for me, I think the Cena match makes the most sense for him. And it puts him on a level, because I think we're both in agreement of what Roman's doing, right?
Yes. Yeah. So I think we can
he
go ahead.
gives him the other high-profile headline one night of WrestleMania type of match.
So we both think it's Rock versus Roman, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. We'll just go ahead and put that on there. See, that's interesting because I had Cena going for the other title. I think Cena Gunther is what they're going to do.
Okay. I have a thought of what I think Gunther's going to do.
Go for it.
We can go for it now.
Sure.
I think Jey Uso is going to win the world title at WrestleMania over Gunther.
Really?
This whole bloodline thing, they have talked about how Roman was going to use the platform to elevate his family.
Mm-hmm.
He just got the Intercontinental title, and everyone was overjoyed. Huge reactions.
Not everyone, but yeah.
A lot of people, the fan, look, if you ignore the IWC, if you just look in the arenas, when his music hits, I joke all the time about he's curtain jerker Jey Uso, and I don't get it. You can't deny what the reaction is for him. And I think having him lose the belt like this, he's clearly going to get involved with this bloodline feud. He's going to be the one that helps Roman even the odds, because he's going to come back into the fold. It's going to make him an even bigger babyface. He's going to be too big to be going back for the secondary title. And if you look at the other major names that are going to be on the show, they don't need a world title match to make their program interesting. And I'm not saying Jey Uso needs the world title match to make it interesting, but the idea of Jey going for the world title at Mania, I think is a great storyline when it's going to be compared to some of the other big matches that are going on.
Yeah, I don't. Part of me feels like once he joins back up with Roman and Jimmy, part of me thinks that they'll just, I don't know. I think they'll treat him kind of like how they treated Jeff in like the mid 2000s, where he was doing his own thing, but him and Matt were still together. And I think that's what they're going to do with him and Jimmy. Where Jey is clearly like on a level above of Jimmy, but yeah.
I think if this were the old regime, I wouldn't have gone this far with thinking it was going to be Jey. They have spent the better part of 2 years in this bloodline storyline of making Jey Uso a focal point. If you put him back with his brother, I saw someone was taking around the idea of the Usos versus Guerrillas of Destiny at Mania. Yeah, it's a dream match, but it's also a huge step down, in my opinion, for Jey particularly. And I mean, last year it was him and his brother facing each other at Mania, and now this year all is well, and they're back together. I don't know. I think the storyline for Jey Uso of going off on his own and doing it on his own and becoming a major star away from the bloodline and then coming back to save the day is going to make him an even bigger single star. Why would they drag him down and put him in a tag feud or saddle him back up with Jimmy at that point?
True. Yeah,
and it gives a huge baby face post WrestleMania on the Raw brand that is fresh in the main event scene at that sort of he's the man type. He's been on the climb the last few months. You cement him as the man, and clearly he's a long-term, pardon the pun, main event player.
Right. I just don't know if they're going to be able to resist doing Cena versus the foreign heel. New regime or not.
It's not 1983, dude. Like, you can't do the foreign heel gimmick. And if you're going to do the foreign heel gimmick, wouldn't it make more sense for him to be doing this right now with the American Nightmare?
I just mean, like, not that he's. I just like he is technically a heel who is foreign. That's all I meant. Like, he's not doing the USA sucks stuff.
Sure.
I'm not saying that. I'm just um yeah, I mean fuck it. We're 6 months out.
That's my thought. You think it's going to be Gunther and Cena? Let me hear the case for Gunther and Cena.
I just think that if they are going to give Cena number 17, which I think they are, I just think him beating Gunther would be, I don't know, it'd be like I don't know, I guess it would be kind of like a Rocky movie at that point, like the old man, like, still able to, still showing he still has it in him for one night against the dominant new up and comer. So I just felt like because I just think Cena and Cody's a match I do want to see, but babyface matches at WrestleMania historically don't go the best. So that's why I'm like, I'm not sure if that's the Mania match. That to me is more like later in the year when Cena's really starting to wind it down. You do that one as like a tip of the cap to each other.
I can see that. I don't like the idea too of Gunther losing to a guy who's clearly at the end of his career, on the way out. They keep, I would argue the way they had him lose to Sammy, like having him lose to Sammy the way he did, was it was really stupid, because it didn't do anything. Sammy is back in the middle of the pack. It didn't elevate him the way we kind of assumed it would if whomever beat Gunther. And Sammy is a guy that can be heated up at any point, but you gave him the big win over Gunther, and then he lost the belt to Braun, and the belt just bounced back and forth, and Sammy's just kind of been an afterthought again. I don't want to see Gunther lose the title and have it not matter as much long term, because Cena's out the door 8 months after he beats Gunther. I would rather see him lose to someone that he can do business with for several years, going back and forth in a feud, over time if they need to.
Right.
And at some point, if Jay's back in the good graces with the bloodline and stuff, like a Gunther Roman match would be pretty awesome too. So like, it gets Gunther into that realm of the bloodline too.
Yeah. Well, okay. We'll do, because the other thing with Cody, and where I think you might be right, is if Cody's not doing Rock and Cody's not doing Roman, who else is there on that level?
Because I think we're going to get Cody and Rock at the Rumble.
I do too.
So that is out of the way. That match is over and done with. What's the attraction for Cody?
Right.
Yeah, it could be Randy, but I think we're gonna get that sooner than later. Right now, with this whole thing with Owens and him, I don't know if 6 months from now people are going to be as interested in it.
Well, maybe though, because so you figure Owens is probably the Survivor Series match, right? Because he's Cody's wrestling Gunther at Crown Jewel,
right?
So Owens is probably the Survivor Series match. And then you have Saturday Night's Main Event and the Rumble, and then Elimination Chamber.
Sure. I don't think that the Owens thing is gonna end in a huge main event with Cody and Owens, though.
No?
No, because you're not gonna have Cody's run unless they bounce the title back and forth a couple times. I don't think it makes sense to have Kevin in another, like, you're not gonna turn him heel and have him just lose to Cody, right? Because then it kills all the momentum of his heel turn.
Maybe.
Now, you have a theory, and I don't want to spoil what we were talking about, but you have a theory for what the main event match is going to be at Saturday night's main event. I kind of lean towards that's where the Owens-Cody match is going to happen.
Maybe. Yeah, I've been on this for a while. I think Cody Roman 3 is happening at Saturday night's main event. Mainly because they've been doing as much as, obviously the company's moving forward. There's these certain hints of nostalgia that they like to throw in every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like that to me kind of feels like the Hogan Andre rematch that they had on the main event. Wasn't Saturday night's main event, it was the main event, but this Saturday night's main event is going to be in prime time like that was. So you have this big main event match to draw the people in on shoot NBC, brother.
Yeah, because network television is the be all end all, like it was in 1987.
Sure.
See, this I get what you're saying, and I understand that. Like, I see the logic in it, but I don't think it matters. That show, WWE is hotter than it's been, maybe ever. That show's going to draw a ton of ratings, and if you've got a show that's got Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes for the world title, Jacob Fatu versus Roman Reigns 3 weeks before the Royal Rumble, and The Rock is somehow involved there. Like, I think that's going to draw more. It's going to draw just as many eyeballs. They're not going to have a problem selling the building out, and they're not going to have a problem getting people to watch it. So I think saving Cody and Roman for down the road, maybe SummerSlam, is a bigger match, because I also don't want to see the match. Like, me personally, I don't want to see the match right now. I don't need to see them for a long time, because they're both really good at their top baby faces right now. They're the two biggest stars in the company. So like, I don't need that right away.
Sure. Yeah, we'll see. So I guess there's also there's also rumors that it's Cody Rock at WrestleMania, which you and I both think is actually the Rumble match. And then I saw something today about a triple threat of Rock, Roman, Cody.
Yeah.
I definitely don't want to do that. Just do the Rock Roman match one-on-one.
I agree. I do wonder if it's a thing of, like, we don't know if Rock can keep up. And if we do the triple threat, the actual match itself won't suffer because they'll be able to hide it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll hate it. If it's not, like, it needs to be Rock Roman so we can just be done with this.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm tired of waiting for the match. Do Rock Roman. I don't care how crappy it is. In ring, the build is going to be pretty entertaining, I would guess.
And there'll be enough spectacle around it that they'll have enough smoke and mirrors that it's going to be fine. Like,
it's only smoke and mirrors.
Right. When the bell rings, that stadium is going to go nuts.
Yeah.
Like, it's I think they should just do it. So, all right. So we'll do Cody Cena. We'll go ahead and do that.
Rock Roman.
Yeah, I got Rock Roman already. So what if Gunther doesn't have the title by WrestleMania?
That's possible.
What if, because we know that Punk has declared his intentions to go after Gunther.
Right.
what if Punk ends up beating Gunther and it's Punk Rollins for the title at WrestleMania?
See, I think we both agree that's a Punk and Rollins is a gimme Mania match.
Yeah,
it doesn't need the title. It doesn't
it
need
doesn't.
the title.
It doesn't.
And it's a very simple. Rollins cost Punk the title. That's it. That's all. That's all. You could even do the scenario where Rollins and Punk are both trying to get to Gunther, and you go back to December '95, where Michaels accidentally cost Brett the title, and he's furious. It's not December '95. When is it? When is it '96? Yeah, it was December '96, I think, where Brett accidentally gets screwed, and he's all furious about it. That's all you need. And I would keep the world title away from that match. Neither one of those guys needs it.
I agree. I just was throwing it out. Braun Breaker?
What is he doing at Mania, or him and Gunther?
Him and Gunther.
Possible. You could also do McIntyre. McIntyre is, I think, owed another major WrestleMania match. And, of all the scenarios we've talked about so far with Gunther, that's probably the best match one-on-one. But I don't know who you make the babyface. You're not going to make Gunther a babyface.
No. Yeah. All right. We'll go ahead and we'll do Gunther versus Jay. Just keep this moving. And I got Punk versus Rollins on there. I shouldn't, yeah. So is Cody Cena for the title, or does Cody lose the title? Like I still think they go full on 2013 and Cody loses to Rock at the Rumble.
Oh, you think that's the
I have that feeling.
Okay. Wow. Okay, I guess I hadn't thought about it like that. So then Cody Cena isn't nearly as I mean, it's still a huge match, but it's not the world title match. But I'll you know what? I'll go with that in the scenario.
Yeah. I think that's going to be that's rent coming due, I think, for what happened last year.
So if that's what they do, that's like, even I would be like, that's stupid, but whatever.
So there are 4 people in the Red Wings penalty box right now.
Outstanding. From what I can tell, the whole team belongs there, but what do I know?
Yeah.
So when I was going through this, there was a name that I could not figure out where it goes. Maybe you've got an idea. And going back to the how do you, like, what do you do with someone who's so popular, but it seems like they never have anything solid for right now? LA Knight.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Good question. That is a good question. Because I don't know if he could very well, because I think the 7th match between Melo and Andrade ends in a schmaz tomorrow.
Yep.
And we get a triple threat at Crown Jewel or some point. So maybe he loses the title there and that. Maybe not. I mean,
the only name.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say question first. I was gonna say you could do him and Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, see, I feel like he's gonna be I feel like the bloodline is gonna be tied into the Rock Roman stuff pretty deep.
I mean, they'll be involved, but they'll have their own matches too.
Sure. Sure. Maybe not. I mean, part of me wonders, and this is a little off the WrestleMania topic, but part of me wonders how long Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga are going to be as heavily featured when they're clearly like not. I think that we've seen enough out of both of them now where like they're not at the level of the rest of the roster, I think.
Well,
Fatu has some aura around him.
Specifically Tongaloa, let's be fair. Tama Tonga's look decent.
Decent, but is he featured on the WrestleMania card over Sami Zayn, over Kevin Owens, over Randy Orton? I don't think so.
We don't even know if Kevin Owens is going to still be in the company at that point.
Kevin Owens is going to be in that company. Come on.
He's
not going to AEW. Come on. So, and mentioning Owens, when I was trying to think this through, Owens and LA Knight, I feel like could be a really solid feud for the middle of the card for Mania season after he's done with Cody.
I like that. KO versus LA Knight. All right. Well, I just brought up Jacob. I'll tell you, after Monday, this is the match I want to see. I want to see Jacob Fatu versus Braun Breaker.
Sure. I'd be okay with that.
Okay. I'm putting it on there. Probably is not going to happen, but I that stare down they had on Monday.
But isn't that just, see, I do not like this new bloodline at all. It feels like such a lower level of wrestler. Because, we haven't even talked, where's Solo going to end up in all of this, right? Like, are you really going to build Solo up all this time and not have something big for him at Mania? It could be Solo and Jacob. Maybe that part of the bloodline is collapsed. I don't know.
Could be.
But like everyone's like, oh, I can't wait for Jacob. And all they do is have him stare down people. Like he hasn't had one of these banger matches that everyone keeps assuming he's going to deliver. He just stares at people. Like,
I think a Jacob Fatu Braun Breaker.
Even with Roman, it's been like kind of ooh. I think it would too if they actually did it, but I don't think they're going to because they just keep using him as like the muscle that doesn't have actual matches. It feels like, and when he does, it's a tag match.
Yeah. It's clear they've got the restrictor plate on him, so he doesn't outshine Solo. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But I'm just, like I said, has probably virtually has no shot of happening at this WrestleMania. I just want to put it on our dream board here. Just because. So
big meaty men slapping meat.
Exactly. Let's get some ladies involved here.
Yep. That's where I was going to go next.
All right. Are we assuming at some point here soon, whether it's not a Crown Jewel because they're doing that champion versus champion match, but maybe are we assuming at some point Rhea finally beats Liv and gets the title back?
I'm not so sure. Rhea, I think, is a big enough star now where she doesn't need the title.
Okay.
And assuming she gets the title back, who does she face at Mania that she hasn't already faced? That is a huge match. And that lady isn't already tied up with another match that I think is going to happen. Because I think Bianca's the one everyone wants to see. But I think Bianca and Jade could be the Mania match.
Think so. Yeah, that's probably, I would probably say so.
Because I'm starting to think we're going to get Dom and Rhea at some point, like a one-on-one match. And I feel like that would be pretty cool at WrestleMania.
Can you keep extending that out till WrestleMania, though, is my only thing.
I mean, I'm sure they could.
would it be good if they did? Is I guess should
Well,
be
it's not
the
good.
question.
It hasn't been good for 6 weeks now, and they keep doing it. So what's another 6 months? I mean,
Fair.
they've beat this. This might be a topic for another day, but this Judgment Day split up has been handled so poorly. Like
Yeah.
it's we just named a bunch of WrestleMania matches. Damian Priest, I don't see where he slots in at Mania in an interesting match. Same with Finn, the rest of the Judgment Day, essentially. Like I don't know where they slide in for Mania in 6 months, because right now they seem like the 8th or 9th most interesting thing on either show.
Yeah. I think more realistically, Priest probably is the one who probably either wrestles Braun Breaker or he wrestles. He could have the Drew match. He could do the Bronson Reed.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
I mean, there's options for him there.
Sure. But back to Rhea.
Yeah.
You could have. I assume at some point Nia's going to lose. I think it's more likely that Nia loses the women's title.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, no, I'm talking myself out of it as I'm starting to say it. So I don't really have a good set for Rhea right now, but I don't think she needs title.
Okay.
Or doesn't need to be involved in the title picture.
Right. So you could do Liv and Raquel. Could do like a Shawn Diesel type thing there.
Okay. I could see that. There's two big names that like we don't know if they're going to be around or not. You know, if Charlotte and Becky are around, it changes.
Charlotte
everything.
will be
not that they need.
Charlotte will be around. Charlotte will be back by then. The conjecture is that Tiffany is eventually going to cash in on Nia, and then they're going to do Tiffany versus Charlotte at WrestleMania. You're frozen. Oh man, this rules. Oh. The look on Matt's face there that was just priceless. But wait for him to re-enter the chat here. Or re-enter the studio. Anyways, how's everyone doing? Keep looking over here because I got the Wings game on. It's tied 3-3. Oli Mata just got cross-checked in the throat. So hopefully that means they're going on the power play, but we'll see. It's Star Wars night at the Red Wings game. So that's pretty cool. So they are in fact on the power play. There's 3:50 left in third period, tied 3-3. Hopefully, we can pull out the win here. Last year, there he is. There's Matt. All right. I was going to say, if last year is any indication, anytime the renderings are on while we're doing this stupid podcast, they lose. So,
Well, that sounds about right. The last thing I heard was the conjecture is Tiffy cashes it on Nia, and they're going to do Tiffy and
Charlotte.
Who?
Charlotte.
Okay.
Just the look on your face was like.
Well, that's kind of what I think of that, but whatever. It's Charlotte. It's hard to deny who she is and what she brings to the table. So
right.
Yeah, we can just put that down for now. It makes sense. It's
Tiffany versus
and then you could
Charlotte.
have, so then using the theory that Liv eventually drops the belt to Rhea, you could have Nia win the women's rumble and challenge Rhea at Mania.
Maybe I think once Nia's done with this title reign, I think she's probably just gonna end up, going back and I'm just trying to think who else. Because she's really been through everyone.
Who, Rhea?
Yeah.
Or Nia? Yeah, the only one is Bianca, and I mean, I would be fine. Like, I would love to see that. But it just feels like that they've been angling towards Jade and Bianca at some point, essentially since Jade walked in the door.
Yeah. But they got time. Like, it feels like they need to just pull the trigger and do the like. I've been on board with Bianca and Jade as the WrestleMania match, but it kind of feels like they just need to pull the trigger and do the Rhea match.
You can put that down.
All right.
I mean, let's be honest. Look, it's not like Jade has shown that she deserves to have a feature match at WrestleMania. There's a bunch of women on that roster that if they're gonna do more than 2 women's singles matches at Mania, Jade probably doesn't deserve to be one of those matches right now.
Right.
She's still extremely clumsy in the ring, and she's very charismatic. People like her, but are you going to turn Bailey away, Nia away in this scenario? What's
Right.
Liv doing if she's not in the world title match? She's probably not on the card. So I don't know. I'll go with that. We can say Bianca and Rhea and Tiffy, Charlotte.
Okay. Those are our title matches, you think?
I believe so. Yeah, we'll run with that.
All right. Do you think Becky will be back?
My gut says yes.
Okay.
But then I don't know where she slots in for Mania season.
Right.
And even with 2 nights of show, I don't know how you pack that in there. Who do you go back to? Do you have her face? She's another one that's kind of been through everybody. You have her face Bailey again.
Right.
She's not going to mess with the women that were in Damage Control before. We've seen those matches a million times. Maybe her and Liv Morgan. But I don't know that that's an exciting.
Well, no, because they just did that too before she left.
Right. I don't know if that's an exciting callback to the last 9 months ago or whatever it was when she.
Mm-hmm. Huh. All right. What's Sammy going to be doing?
I don't think he's going to be doing anything. This is like. We just kind of went through what? I think we've got about 8 matches.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah.
Okay. I think those are probably the top 4 right now for each night. Mm-hmm. Anything under that is kind of an afterthought. I don't know what Sami Zayn does. I don't know what in this scenario. I don't know where Randy ends up. Obviously, Randy's going to end up in something interesting, but what it is, kind of hard to pinpoint right now.
Right.
You could have a scenario where it's Jimmy and Sammy are the ones fighting with the other part of the bloodline. I don't know how much I like that either.
Yeah.
But they've got so many people that are hot right now and are going to get a lot of TV time invested in them. A guy like Sami Zayn is going to be an afterthought. Look, Logan Paul is on the advertisements right now. If you brought him back right now, who's he feuding with that is interesting that they haven't done before? that doesn't have a feud going on right now that you're actually like, oh, I want to see that.
Good point. Yeah, I don't know.
And we mentioned Damian Priest. Like, we just said Damian could get a match. He could be an afterthought. Finn Balor. Like, Finn is an incredible hand in that company, but I don't know where you put him right now.
Right. Because they're going to be, what, like 12, 13 total matches between the two nights?
Yeah. Maybe they do 7 a night, you know?
So 14. So there's like six more we got to come up with.
Yeah. I don't think we need to do that right now.
No. That's fine. We could stop here. I mean, we got the main, like you said, the main stuff, and we can revisit this, like I said, here in a couple months and see.
We didn't
where
talk
we're
about
at.
either set of tag titles.
No, but that changes on such a week to week, month to month basis that one's kind of hard to, because like my initial thought, again, going the dream match route was Usos and Machine Guns. That was my first. I'm like, where I was like, oh, I'd like to see that at WrestleMania. But if we got Jay going after the world title, then
look, I like the Machine Guns a lot. We talked about this last week. They're not going to get to the top of the card. They're not going to get a major push. They're not like
they got synchronized pyro on their entrance.
Yeah.
They're big time.
Did you see some of the reactions? Like, I want them to succeed. I really do. I don't know with the way they treat the WWE treats their tag division. I just don't think it's going to matter, and I don't think those guys are destined for a WrestleMania featured match. Because again, how many other people in that company would then get overlooked for that match? You know, if you're DIY and you've been slumming away at WWE for a decade now, and then these two
guys were on WrestleMania last year.
That's exactly my point, and no one remembers the matches. Like, come on. No, you know what? Machine Guns might end up in a four-way tag match for the tag titles, which would probably be just fine. But the idea that they're going to get a featured standard tag match at WrestleMania is, I hope it happens, but I wouldn't bet on it.
No, you're probably right, but
I am excited to see them tomorrow night. Well, I'll probably watch it Saturday morning. We're going to be preoccupied, which great segue, I think.
Yes.
But I am curious to see, like, I want to see how they're received in Brooklyn as opposed, weren't they in like Greensburg?
They're in South Carolina.
Yeah, like they're not, that's not a diehard indie wrestling town. But I think tomorrow night, DIY, Motor City Machine Guns, Brooklyn, New York, that could be an outstanding way to really introduce the Guns to the WWE universe.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, yeah, that was a good segue. Red Wings win 5-3.
Yay!
Patrick Kane scored a power play goal, and then they got an empty netter. So, woohoo! Reverse the curse.
Hockey town.
It was Star Wars night tonight.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. But you mentioned tomorrow. You and I might be a little preoccupied while SmackDown is on. I mean, is this game going to actually start? Like, is first pitch like 8:00? I never know with the World Series because it's
it says 8:05. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, it could very easily be 9:30 before they actually start this stupid game.
Yeah.
It's 8:08 in all playoffs. They've been pretty good about the game starts right around that time, the time they're advertising. So.
Right. That's good. Are they starting in New York or LA?
LA.
Okay.
That's all the games start at 8:00 at night, the entire series.
Good. because I'm old. Well,
I'd like to quote Mike Stone towards you, but I'm going to be good about
yeah, yeah. Thanks. No, like I told you, I totally missed them clinching the ALCS on Saturday night because I was like,
I didn't see it live either. I missed it by about 3 minutes. I was in the other room. We had just gotten from a wedding, and I was like unwinding and trying to pay attention, but like, hey, I need to use the bathroom and get myself something to eat. And I came back, and Juan had done what he did.
excellent.
In the greatest postseason at bat of all time, compared some people are saying. I don't know about all that, but it's pretty goddamn epic.
Many are saying, people are saying.
I'm not even going to do the impression. That was $100 million swing by Juan, though. That he added $100 million to his contract with one swing of the bat. Like what an unbelievable run from our three big hitters after we were live on the air last week when they lost game 3.
Yeah.
And Judge, Stanton, and Soto, all those last 3 games, just huge hits, clutch hits. We gotta hope they keep it up.
Yeah.
Like,
so I'm like almost a week off again. Like, it's like very frustrating. Like, I get it, but it's like I would have rather this series started like yesterday or something.
I think the layoff hurts the Dodgers more. We're gonna have to mash the baseball to win this series. That the Dodgers lineup is unbelievably deadly. I mean, 1 through 9, everyone in that lineup can take you deep. It's really gonna. I think our bullpen is going to be the key to the entire series, and getting them that rest after how much they were using the Cleveland series, I think is going to be the most helpful thing to the entire team. The Dodgers starting pitching is not elite. It's good, but it's not elite. Their bullpen is definitely not on the same level of Cleveland.
Passon was on Ryan Russillo's podcast this week, and he was basically like they got the 2 starters, and then game 3 might be a bullpen game. And then
the Dodgers or the
Dodgers.
Well, even their starters, like Yamamoto has not been great. Flaherty's been getting lit up in the playoffs. Walker has not been outstanding. Like, I'm not worried about any of their starting pitching, and they're, like I just said, their bullpen doesn't scare me.
Right.
What worries me is if Rodon or Cole have a bad outing and get touched up for 5 runs in 3 innings, are we going to be able to keep pace?
Right. Yeah. Yep. But no, this is everything you asked for. You got Ohtani and Judge, on either side. Like,
so I was looking at it, I can't remember if it's the last 2 years or the last 3 years, but the 4 players with the most WAR in baseball: Judge, Soto, Ohtani, Betts. Like, let's go. I saw all these weak ass, small market loving scrub ass people. I don't want to watch the 2 teams that spend the most money. That's not baseball. Like, listen, man, the owner of the Cleveland Guardians is the 5th richest owner in Major League Baseball. He's just cheap and he sucks because he's from Cleveland, Ohio. If he knew anything, he wouldn't have bought a team in Ohio. Okay? If you want to win, you spend the money. You had some scrub ass small market team in the World Series last year, and everyone complained that the series wasn't competitive. So kiss my ass with that. I want to watch superstars hit home runs on the biggest stage.
I want to see dingers.
Right. Oh, I want to see small ball, and I want to see pitching matchups. Kiss my ass. What's more exciting, watching a team work out of a 1-out bases loaded jam, or watching the best player in the universe hit a game tying 2-home run off the game's best closer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And our guys are going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Real quick, going back, like I didn't want to say it during the Cleveland series because they were Class A is like the coolest looking motherfucker.
I don't like him.
I just think he looked like the earrings and the hair. Like I'm like, that's one cool looking dude.
Yeah, what to get him?
Well,
bounces would have got him. Look cool like on your couch at home, Emmanuel. I'm better than Mariano Rivera. Kiss my ass.
Did he really say that?
One of his idiot teammates was like, it was Austin Hedges. Was like, he's the best pitcher. He's the best closer I've ever seen. He's the best I've ever seen. Okay. And then Clase was like, flashing his all-star game rings and stuff like that. Cool, bro.
Right.
Hang another cutter over the middle of the plate.
Right. Also, Big Christmas is an elite nickname.
That's a really good name. So the thing, like, there's a lot of players on that Guardians team I really like. Stephen Kwan.
Mm-hmm.
All that dude does is have quality at bats and play Gold Glove defense. Like,
yeah,
he should be our left fielder next year.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I'm excited for World Series baseball again. 15 years.
Bronx in October. Like,
I know.
Let's go.
We were talking about it a couple weeks ago, but I just wish it was Joe Buck on the call.
Yeah.
I mean, I know McCarver's 100 years old, so he, whatever, but I just going back to the glory years of Buck and McCarver calling all those games. It's like,
I need it.
But that's all right.
Sure. Before we move on, the one other thing I've enjoyed is all of the angry, again, they spend the most money, blah, blah, blah. Like, the evil empire is back.
Yeah.
Give me all your tears and all your hate. I'll take it all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Going back to our roots.
That's right. About to pay someone $800 million to play right field.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. Well, that's tomorrow. Lions win again. Keep on winning.
I have thoughts, but I feel like I've talked way too much in the show.
No
I want to know what you thought of that game.
It was obviously the first few minutes was like, oh God, we're in for one. And then they settled down, and from then on it just was just clockwork on offense. Yeah. A lot of people talk about it. It was a chess match. It was Ben Johnson and Brian Flores having a little chess match all throughout the game. And it seemed like the first couple series, Ben was just kind of waiting to see what Flores was going to do. And then once he figured it out, they were just boom, boom, boom. And like all these talking points people have had for Goff since he's been here in Detroit, all the naysayers about, he can't throw deep. Well, he can, dude.
He's the highest completion percentage in the league on passes over 20 yards.
So, on real quick side, highlights of a Thursday night game between the Rams and Vikings from like 2018 or something like that came up on my Facebook feed today, because obviously they're playing tonight.
Yeah.
And it was Goff and Cousins, and Goff had like 465 yards in that game. He threw like a bomb to, I think, Robert Woods or Brandon Cooks or one of them. Just a bomb. And I'm like, yeah, all right. But yeah. he can't throw deep. Well, he can throw deep. He's terrible under pressure. He's actually like the best quarterback in the league.
It's football under pressure. Yeah.
So
Valenti was rambling off the stats today. If he gets, the standard they say in the league is if a quarterback gets 2.5 seconds of time, that's a good pocket. He's the highest rated passer in football when he has 2.5 seconds of time. He's elite. He's absolutely the best passing quarterback in the league right now.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think if they're able to keep, obviously they can't keep up this pace for the entire year that they had the last 4 games. But if they can keep, be close to it, he should definitely get some. He won't win. It'll be Lamar or it'll be Josh Allen.
It's going to be Lamar.
If Allen keeps going turnover free, like he's been, and has minimal turnovers, I think they'll give it to him because he's been waiting. Lamar's already got 2. I think they'll give it to Josh Allen. But
maybe.
But yeah, we can start replacing the Jared Goff chance with MVP chance. Also, I think we still have a Defensive Player of the Year candidate on the team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brian Branch is unreal. He's
stud.
Best safety duo in the league.
That's not even a question. That's not even a question.
Him and Kirby together are just magical. Yeah, but another pick, a couple of nice pass breakups. He's playing great.
He had a return for a touchdown that was that close.
That close
from being a tutty.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they are going to make a move, but I don't think it's going to be the splash everyone thinks it is, and I think it's going to be okay.
I don't think it's going to be okay, and I agree that it's not. I don't think they're going to make a big move. I think it's going to hurt him. I still think that not going out and addressing this pass rush is going to be what inevitably ends up hurting them when it comes time to win an NFC title or win a Super Bowl. But before, I don't want to get into that yet. I thought Sunday was the best game they've played in the last 2 years as a team.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you talked about a chess match and stuff like that. I thought Ben Johnson won that chess match, and it wasn't even particularly close. The scoreboard was close because Dan Gamble struck in the first minute of the game or first series of the game, and Terry Arnold, missed his contain, and Jones scored a touchdown, and then they scored on the fumble.
Mm-hmm.
I say 14 of the 29 points were not really the defense's fault. The rest of the game, they let the Vikings have one touchdown scoring drive the whole rest of the game, and that was missing 4 starters on defense from the start of the year.
They kept Jefferson in check too. He only had
they kept Jefferson in exactly. They fell down 10-0, and unlike the Ravens game last year and the Packers game last year and the Panthers game from 2 years ago, where it was like, man, if we win this game, we've got a shot to make the playoffs, and they just got run over in the first quarter. They showed composure and they got back in the game, and when they got back in, they didn't let up.
Mm-hmm.
And they held their foot on the Vikings' necks up until Montgomery fumbled the football and they scored the touchdown. But even then, they didn't panic. They came right back. They came back down the field and they turned the ball, or they didn't turn it over, but they had to punt. And then the defense stepped up and got the ball back, and they were able to come down and win the game. I thought it was the most impressive performance they've had in the last 2 seasons, all things considered.
We've got a kicker now? ?
I mean, yeah, I still don't think Dan is interested in kicking field goals most of the time. I think he's still going to be like, it's 4th and 3, we're going to go for it.
Right.
But having that, just knowing that there's a guy there that is capable of knocking in those kicks is reassuring.
Mm-hmm.
The Vikings were coming off a bye, weren't they?
They were.
So we went in 6-0 on the road against a team that was coming off of a bye. We played a week earlier, lost the heart and soul of our defense, and then went in there and, in my mind, beat the tar out of the Vikings. I don't think the game was particularly close.
Mm-hmm.
The way it played out on the field. So I was thoroughly impressed with the way they played Sunday.
Yeah. Yep. I thought it was very very encouraging. I thought that was a coin flip game before Hutch got hurt. With the way Minnesota had been playing. So I'm glad they got that win. Now they just need to handle business against Tennessee, get the dub, come out healthy, and then get ready for Green Bay.
Yeah.
If you beat Tennessee, you already got like I said, you gotta go 3-1 each quarter. If you beat Tennessee, you already got your 3 wins for this quarter not locked up. Whatever happens in Green Bay happens in Green Bay, but yeah.
See,
I feel pretty
it might just be my ego because the Lions are good finally. I'm not worried about Green Bay either. I wasn't worried about Green Bay last year. Jordan Love can't stop turning the football over. And you talked about how earlier you said that you don't think the offense can keep it up at this rate. I absolutely think the offense is going to keep it up at this rate because the defense is getting them the ball 2 or 3 extra possessions a game and has been all season. And going back to last year, when they force turnovers and we get those extra possessions, that's how we end up 35, 40 points a game.
Yeah.
Now, we've got to talk about this Green Bay game. We're going to be missing a player for this game.
Oh, yeah.
What are your thoughts on J-Mo once again finding himself unable to be on the field to contribute?
Disappointed. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. Is where I'm at this point.
I'm furious. So
yes.
I want to hear your side.
Yeah. Furious. I was just like, oh no, I sent you the Tyra Banks. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. Like, that's kind of how I feel. Like, I'm like, oh. And it, like, looking back at the Minnesota game, it kind of makes sense. Like, I think you could tell that they knew something because he had one catch. I think he only had the one target.
They did not use him in the game plan. They used him as a decoy all game.
Yeah. So I think they kind of knew something was up. Yeah, it's very disappointing. Best case scenario is, he wasn't paying close enough attention to what he was taking, and he got popped for it.
Did you not see his statement?
I saw his statement, but I'm like, yeah, like unless it's just a false positive, and if that's the case, why are you like dropping the appeal? Unless it's just like, let's just get it over with. And so yeah, whatever. It's 2 games. Like I said, they should be able to beat Tennessee with their eyes closed.
They're going to beat Tennessee. Come on.
With them trading Hopkins and stuff like that. So like I said, just get out of that game healthy. And yeah, not having him for the Green Bay game, that's probably going to hurt a little bit more, but yeah, it's a bummer. So
see, I was like, man, at first I was like, come on. And then just seeing how it's all played out, like, I'm just done with the clown show. Now, I'm not saying get rid of him. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm at the point with him, and I've seen enough from the offense, and we saw it last year when he wasn't around. They can score whether or not he's on the field. Now, he makes them – he gives them a completely different dynamic on offense that you can't just go out and replace right away. But the way I look at it, they got this season and next season to figure out who's going to be Jamison Williams in 2026. I'm not picking up his fifth-year option. I'm not giving him, because those fifth-year options are a lot more expensive of a contract. I would rather save the $8 million or whatever and make sure that money is going to Brian Branch. Going to somebody who shows up, who isn't a headache, who isn't a distraction. Because, let's not forget, they draft him out of college. He's hurt. He's got all this time to study the playbook, and all the reports were he doesn't know the plays. He can't run the routes. He's dropping passes. Then they're like, he comes back, he plays a couple games, gets hurt, can't finish out the season. And then it's, J-Mo looks great in the preseason. J-Mo looks good. Oh, he got popped for gambling. Stupid rule, but he still got popped, and he missed 4 games from that.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes in, and he was still having trouble with drops. He still wasn't running routes very well. But you could see, when he gets the ball, he's explosive. This is why they keep him around. And then he gets hurt again and misses some more games. There's a trend here of you can't count on this kid consistently. And if I'm the Detroit Lions and I'm looking at all these our guys that we got to take care of, Valenti said this earlier in the week, and I agreed with it immediately. It was what I was saying to the wife. He just made a decision for me. He's not getting an extension. You're not going to tell Kirby Joseph and Jahmyr Gibbs and Brian Branch and Jack Campbell, sorry, we don't got any money for you because we got to pay this kid who, as you know, gets suspended every year or misses time because he can't stay healthy. I'm tired of the headache. You can find speed demon receivers in the draft every year. I think it's time they start figuring out what this offense is going to look like in a year or two without him. And, in the offseason, if someone was like, hey, we'll give you this and this for J-Mo, if the right deal came along, then yeah, I'd be willing to get him out of here just because it's such an unknown with him week after week. And I think what Dan said earlier in the week about, I don't think he lost his grip was kind of like, this is your last chance. I think that was the message of no, I don't think he lost his grip, but he's getting real close to losing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they're going to play games with him. He's letting down the entire rest of the team because he can't stay out of trouble. And his statement of, I've never put anything in my body to give me an unfair advantage. Okay, so if we take you at your word about that, then you were putting something in your body to mask other things you're putting in your body, which is another complete headache altogether.
Right.
And if you didn't do anything wrong and you don't know how it happened, why are you not appealing the suspension?
Yeah.
Because it's not like they're going to be like, oh, you appealed, we're going to add 3 games to the suspension. Worst case scenario, they say, nope, you're still stuck with 2 games. Or they might say, no, you only missed 1, and then you're available for Green Bay. I think he knows what he did. I think he knows why he got popped, and he just doesn't want to admit it.
Maybe. Well, I mean, yeah, I'm not nearly as I mean, the whole extension thing, that's a couple years down the road. I'm not even worried about that right now. I think he is yes, they can win without him, but I think he still is a very important part of this offense. And sure. So, and I think if he was still having problems on the field, I think I would feel like you feel, but because he's been so good so far this year on the field, I'm and like I said, because it's only 2 games and whatnot, I'm like, all right, serve your 2 games and then come back and then let's go. So,
yeah, I mean, like I said, he obviously makes their offense better, and I'm not saying get rid of him. I'm not saying you can't have this guy around. It's not like he, was driving drunk and killed somebody or shot
can't
someone
coach
in the
him,
back of a limo.
can't win with them.
Right. but I'm just tired of his name is always in the headlines for the wrong reasons.
Well, and it's a direct, on any other team, it would be like, whatever. But on this team, like it sticks out a little bit more for sure.
See, I think it, who else came out in that class with him? Say it was Jalen Waddle, who missed his entire rookie year and then came in and couldn't run routes and couldn't catch the ball, and then got suspended the next year and then got hurt and missed more time, and then comes back and you're like, this is what we drafted, this is what we're excited for, and he does it again. It's like, man, at some point you just have to. It's kind of like we all knew someone growing up that everyone would, everyone's at the bonfire in the woods drinking, but old Davy Jones, he's the one that always gets caught by the police. At some point, you got to realize, hey, Davy, you got to stop putting yourself in these situations. And if you're going to put yourself in these situations, you're probably the one who's going to get caught. You got to stop doing it. And he just doesn't seem to understand that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Did you see the thing where for some stupid reason the Lions are like the 4th highest odds to land Cooper Kupp?
I did see that. If it were like a 5th round pick, I'd do that deal tomorrow.
Really?
I'd absolutely do that deal tomorrow. Because you can't count on your number 2 receiver. And what's Cooper Kupp really good at?
Being a slot merchant?
Being a slot merchant. And what is Jared Goff feasting on in the passing game? Quick short throws and then breaking one downfield. I'm all for putting another weapon. If it's cheap, I'm all for putting another weapon out there.
Yeah, I don't know. They gotta get the edge thing sorted out first, and then if they still have capital they want to use, then so be it. But
call Aaron Donald. I'm sure he'd like another ring. We're gonna bring in ex-Rams players.
You never responded, but I texted. It happened this week too. They keep on JJ Watt's hits on the McAfee show every Wednesday. They keep trying to. Yeah. Foxy keeps like, come on, JJ. He's like this week. He's like, look, and I know how much you like scoring touchdowns. There is no way Ben Johnson would not have a couple plays dialed up for you to catch a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Yep, exactly. Have you? This is off Lions, but sort of. Have you heard the Minnesota rumors with the Rams?
Mm-mm.
There's a strong. Well, I don't know strong, but there's a rumor out there that the Rams are looking to trade Stafford, and the Vikings are interested.
Oh, okay. I saw something like that, but it looked like it was like not credible. So I'm like, what? Yeah, I don't see that happening.
But I've seen it a couple times. I looked at like the contract and stuff. I don't think it makes sense for Minnesota to do it, but I said last week I thought the Lions were going to expose Darnold, and I think that kid's coming back down to earth, and I don't think Minnesota is going to be this juggernaut the second half of the season.
No. Touchdown, LA Rams.
It's going to be good for my parlay.
Be good for the Dan Campbell curse too. Yeah. If when you play the Lions, you lose twice.
Oh yeah, no, it's the Lions hangover is what I've heard it called. Not the
whatever.
Dan Campbell curse.
Whatever.
I literally bet on the I'm looking at it right now. I bet on the Rams tonight because there's no way they're going to beat the Rams. The Vikings just got their face kicked in 4 days ago by the Lions. They're going to be dead when they get to this game.
Yeah. Yep. So, So, all right, let's get out of here so I can watch the end of this game.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, thanks everyone. Leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Not sure. We should be able to be on next week. Depends on, trick or treating and all that good kind of stuff. So, but
Oh, that is next week.
yeah, Halloween is next week. So, but
my kids are a little older. It's not as important to us anymore. We don't dress up every year anymore.
Oh man, that's very depressing. That's very depressing.
This is going to be 2 years in a row where we didn't do a couple's costume. I'm pretty salty about it. But I'm also at the point where like I want to do more adult themed costumes, and like I can't really explain to my kids who Jay and Silent Bob are yet, so I might have to wait a couple years.
Fair. Nice. All right. Yeah, we're still going back and forth and if we're going to be Spider-Man, Batman, or the Hulk.
All three.
Right. It has been Hulk, but when we went to the trunk or treat, he was Batman. So we'll see. We're prepared for all three. So,
Good to know.
Yeah. We got options. So, but all right, everyone. Until then, have a good week, and we'll see ya.